Welcome, everybody. Boom! What's up, everybody? Cheers. Happy Friday, and welcome back to TJ Warren TV, the American Idiot Show, episode 20. And as with every 10th episode, every milestone, we bring on an absolute legend. Not that all of our guests aren't legends, okay? I don't want to disparage any guests that we have had previously.
True.
But this guy is special. Everybody, welcome to the channel, to the American Idiot Show. Big Diesel. Diesel, how you doing, brother?
So I thought you was on about Oregon when you was sorry. Oh, me. You know what? It's weird, right? I cringe when someone calls me that because I'm just such a down to earth. I'm an average Joe. Do you know what I mean? But I'll take it, TJ. As soon as you called me it, I'll take it. Mm-hmm. I've been called a lot worse in my time, believe me. But yeah, very good, mate. Very good. My first time on here. Really appreciate the invitation as well. I've watched this a few times, and obviously Oregon Gurner, we go way back, didn't we, from the Banster days. So yeah, thank you for being here. Hello to everyone in the chat as well. I can see a few familiar faces in there. So yeah, big up yourselves.
No, absolutely. Lovely. Big up. Dal, how are you doing, my friend?
I've recovered finally. I was sick Tuesday and Wednesday. I think I had a bad flu or bad cold or something, but I'm back. I'm alive. Still a little warm, having to take some ibuprofen here and then. But nothing like a little Corona and a little ganja to help the ills go away, TJ. I got to say I'm jealous of your trip. But first of all, I got to say thank you, Diesel, for showing up. I've been a big fan for at least, I think, 3+ years now. Watching you batter it, talk facts, put Terry in his place. Hope he's watching. Shout out to him.
We got to get into that. I'm sorry.
And of course, all your support you gave to Claude and his family. And et cetera, and the chick, and, rest in peace, our brothers. Yeah, rest in peace, Claude. Yeah. So thank you again, Diesel, for coming on the show.
Pleasure.
It's really important that you made it on.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I just think, so tell us, Diesel, a bit about your Arsenal journey. I don't want to go too in depth because our friend Jez is doing a special shows to everyone. But growing up, maybe as a teenager, did you play some football? Did you just play with the kids in the neighborhood?
No, do you know what? I ended up. I started supporting Arsenal because I'm East London, but I was born and bred in Islington. So yeah, Barnsbury Road, and I went to Thornhill School. It was literally 10, 15 minutes away from Arsenal. I'm a weird sort of man, right? So what it is, there's things I should remember I don't, and the things I shouldn't I do. It's really weird, but I can remember obviously going to primary school, and a lot of the kids back then a lot of them were sort of Man United fans, but my thing was Arsenal because obviously they were just down the road, right? So that's obviously, and obviously I used to play football, and I don't look it now, but honestly I used to be fit back in the day, believe it or not. So I was playing a lot of football, and obviously I had an interest in Arsenal as well. So one day I think I was driving past the stadium, and you can hear the roar. Obviously at the time it was Highbury, and I always asked my dad to take me to a game, and obviously it's local to us, and he did. And it's really weird. Like when you're walking towards the stadium, like the smell of hot dogs, and it was grimy in a sense, but in another sense I loved it. It was rammed, it was packed. And then you go, and the atmosphere, it just makes the hairs on your back stand up. Do you know what I mean? So from then I was hooked. And obviously I moved away when I was 8 years old. I moved more to East London. But if I'm honest, yeah, it's always been Arsenal, purely because of where I grew up. And obviously everyone around me was Arsenal. So, yeah, that's how it started.
Fantastic. Good to hear. So what's going on, Connor?
I'm all good. I was a bit... Because I was looking forward mainly to the game the other day because TJ was going. I thought, oh, fantastic! It's his first game, and I really wanted to shut. I think TJ, you even predicted 5-0, and
I did.
You got 5-0 out of it. So, and some of the goals you got to give it to him. I know it's only the MLS AllStars, and they ain't fantastic, but some of the goals are fantastic. Jesus' little dink into the back of the net Trossard's shot was fantastic. Some of the play was really good. Obviously, Jorginho's back again with his little hop, skip, and jump penalty. It was some good football. It was some good football. I really enjoyed it. I'm liking having Arsenal back. I hate the period where there's no football because there is really nothing to do. So it is nice that we're getting back into the swing of things. You know, we've got our signings that I think we're going to mainly get this window. I think we are looking for a right forward at the moment. But we've got, in my opinion, the players that we need. It's now just a point of now getting them out because we're not hearing anything at the moment. And, so it's going to be interesting. But yeah, I'm all good. I'm looking forward to this game against Man United tomorrow night, and I want us to show up to that one as well. So
yeah, I fully expect us to show up against Man United, and if we don't, I'm going to be fuming because the MLS AllStars. Let's be honest, they've never played with each other before, and they're in a dead league. It doesn't matter who the MLS would throw up against us. We could play our under 21s, and we should beat them. So it's one of those things where I knew what was going to happen. We knew what time it was. It was just a matter of how bad it was going to be. So also, I want to welcome the legend, Matt, the Southern Gooner, to the show. My brother, how are you? Thank you for joining us for the 20th ep, my man.
Appreciate it, man. Hey, the legend is right up. If I can get this damn thing right, right
I
there.
know,
That's the legend.
there.
Right there, man. The
He
diesel.
won't answer to it. He won't answer to it. That's the thing about him. The real legends don't answer to it.
Good to see y'all, man. Good to see y'all.
That'd be good, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So MLS AllStars would be mid-table in the championship. Yeah, if they played together for an entire season, maybe. Yeah. Did you see like prime example is the chance that Benteke had and he just let it go. Come on. These guys are dead. They're dead ballers. We knew we knew what time it was. It was gonna be 5-0 the entire time. It was just an exercise in I can immerse myself in what actually being an Arsenal fan during game day is. So being able to do that and experience that and meet the people I met, and I'll go ahead and answer this right now. Hey, hey, Warren, why did you not call out AFTV on Tuesday? Yes, I'm going to drag out Cecil and Robbie in front of my wife in front of the White House on vacation. That is what I am going to do. Do I and look, I don't like AFTV. I was shell shocked the fact that I even ran into him. Okay. I said this on the show before. The fact that I ran into AFTV before actually meeting any of these guys in person is actually an injustice. I'm I haven't even met Dow and we live in the same country, but I run into Robbie and I run into Turkish and I run into that fraud Julian and I run into Cecil and all these guys. Give me a break. I was nice. I was cordial. They were nice. We were cordial. They don't know who I am. So what would it matter?
They know.
They know. Let's take a picture with this silly Yank so he'll just leave us alone and walk away.
Yeah,
go bother troops or something.
So I'll let y'all in on the secret. Since it's not going to happen. So I got a phone call. For those who don't know, everybody knows I'm a photographer. And so I got a call last week. And from Chelsea Football Club, and was like, well, hey, can you do our photos? Because they're playing in Atlanta. They're playing Newcastle next week in Atlanta. And at first, I was like, they don't know who I am. So I said, yeah, I'm going. Yeah, I do it. And then because I was going to charge them out the yin yang because we know they got money over there. We know Todd Bowley got money. I'm about that check. I'm about that check. So it turns out they figured out who I was. And they were like, no, we can't let him do it.
Yeah, so like full Arsenal kit.
Yeah, So of course, I'm in the mud, so that's got that.
Yeah, so they're watching. So Matt, they might be watching. And I went up to Cecil. I was just like, yeah, I got my own YouTube channel. Would you mind if I plugged it? And he mentioned it, and then it got edited out at the end. And then when I said at the end of the little kit review, I was like, it doesn't matter what the kids look like, we just need to win. They cut that out too. So it's all about agendas. It is what it is. It was cool to meet Turkish. He's a real one, good guy. And it is, it is what it is. And I messaged the guys in the Instagram. I'm only gonna get on this, and then I want to get back to Diesel and his stories. So Connor, remember during our show with Kenny Ken, I said that I was just like, the only person I really wanted to meet out here, if I got the opportunity to meet them, was Troops.
Yeah.
Right. If I could meet Troops, that would be insane. And so I go out to dinner with my wife, and we're walking down to the bullpen, which is where all the Arsenal people were gathering before the march to the stadium, right? I walk right in, show my ID, walk in, and sure enough, right next to the Jameson stand, fucking Troops is right there. So I go to Nat, and I'm like, I gotta go talk to him. Like, sorry, I gotta go talk to him right now. I go up to him, realest motherfucker in the world.
Yep.
Nicest guy, like, plugged the channel, told him that we have some people in common, Flawless and Lee and a couple other guys. And he was just like, dude, we gotta hook up. We gotta get you on the pod and all this stuff. He took a screenshot of the channel. So hopefully we can do some stuff with him. But yeah, man, he was the realest, man. And he took time, like literally he was getting mobbed, okay, by all these different fans because he's very popular in America, very popular. And I was just like, we were in the middle of a conversation. He kept getting interrupted. And I was just like, hey, Troops, well, like I'll catch you next time, dude. Not a big deal. And he was just like, no, wait, I want to see your video with Lee. So I showed him the 10th episode of American Idiot as we were exactly, Drew. As I was leaving, he was just like, holy shit, we got to hook up. So realest dude in the room, incredible guy. So wanted to tell that story. Like, yeah, if it wasn't for Troops, guys, TJ Warren TV wouldn't exist. Like, I wouldn't know about Arsenal YouTube if it wasn't for Troops, period. He was the guy through Barstool Sports, through the Back Again podcast that got me into this whole thing. So that's why I'm like, I had to come on and tell that story because that was like a watershed moment. That was unbelievable.
Yeah, he's definitely a legend in the community, so that's cool.
Yeah, dude. He's an absolute legend, and he's the absolute realist. But yeah, so before I get to fangirling too much, I want to hear a story, Diesel. I want to hear this. I want to hear this Terry story. You guys were talking backstage about Terry. What is this?
Yeah, so basically, when we Terry and myself, when we joined up with Claude, that's when we first met, and it was the three of us, and obviously we sort of rebranded his channel and we called it Claude and the Bansters, and obviously Terry and I were the Bansters, and obviously it was just Terry's always been very pro Mikel Arteta, and I'm so far to the left and he was so far to the right, and Claude was more so with me, but there were times where Terry just had that gift of he could just try and get inside Claude Zed, and I was always there to make sure he didn't get in Claude Zed. And it was, we just argue a lot. And actually, the good thing is as well, I mean, we always used to say, I mean, it was never scripted or, let's have an argument on purpose to try and boost ratings. It was nothing like that. We always had an agreement. Look, no matter what gets said on stream, once the stream ends, we're friends again, right? And but there, and that should be the rule for everyone. But to be fair, there were times where it was bloody hard, like to a point where he used to rile me so much. Like you get those people who are just so deluded, and it's like if the sky's blue to them, it's purple, and it's like you just can't reason with people like that, right? And there were times where I honestly thought you're lucky you're on the stream, because if me and you was doing this in the same room, I think I would have come to him on. It was that, because when you speak about something you're so passionate about, sometimes emotion just takes over, doesn't it? And I'm one of them people. I sort of act first, I think later, and I think that's my sort of that's my downfall. But look, he's a top guy. I mean, I've tried to ring him a couple of times, he's not answered. So clearly, I've said something on my channel that's upset him. So yeah, look, it is what it is, right? But Joe, if you're watching, be a man, ring me, and let's squash it. Right?
There was definitely some shows, Diesel, where it got like really, really heated, and it was almost like Claude had to referee both of you.
Yeah,
instances, But yeah, he was very, probably still is, shout out to Tel, very into Arteta, and I think what we're seeing now is what we've always wanted, right? Investment in the team and so forth. So what's happening now just gives them more ammunition, right? To just dive deeper into the Arteta love box than ever before. But question about Christian Benteke, TJ, real quick. Didn't he play for Chelsea at one time and then went to Palace?
Yes.
I believe so.
That's what I thought. I thought he played for Chelsea. I knew he played for Palace, but
he played for Liverpool, wasn't it? He played for Liverpool.
Liverpool.
But I know he played for Liverpool.
The first 15 minutes.
I know. Yeah, Aston Villa first, wasn't he? Yeah. Villa, then he went to Liverpool, and then Palace.
Yeah,
Big
go
up, folks. We're
ahead,
on new
the other
subscriber,
fella.
by the way. Thanks for subbing, my man. Thank you
So
very
yeah,
much for subbing.
Benteke's first miss of the night, I think, was in the 14th minute or so, TJ, of the game. I mean, he just completely fluffed that ball.
No, he completely
I
fluffed
got
it
you.
and walked
American
away
League.
smiling. So that was like what time it was for the MLS AllStars. They were just happy to be there as we just
Yeah, it was-
absolutely panned them.
I don't know if you guys saw the whole game. I watched the whole thing on Apple TV. It was a domination from beginning to end. In fact, they were interviewing Wayne Rooney at halftime, and he was pretty furious because he was like, "Oh, I don't have any time to put a team together. I've got 40 players. I don't know what to do with," and blah blah blah. And after it was already 2 or 3-0 at halftime, so he was already blown his gasket by that time, and he was just done. And you could tell that it was just, he took the life out of him with that 5th goal. So.
Well, did you see the interview after the game where he's just like, "What did you take away from that game?" And Rooney's like, "Nothing."
Nothing, right?
Like,
at the end of the day, it's a friendly. Like I think he just got asked. I genuinely thought he got asked to do it. I mean, he's managing one of the worst teams in the MLS, I believe. DC. Oh, actually,
well, they were the hosts, and he's a name. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. And everyone's going to know who Wayne Rooney is. And well, I'm going to say this here and now. We've got 2 more friendlies coming up, and I know they're friendlies and all that, and they don't mean nothing. But now we're playing 2 big teams. One of the biggest team in England, in Man United, and one of probably joint with Real Madrid and Barcelona, one of the biggest teams in Spain. Now, I know it's a friendly, and you put all your different players out, but now for these next 2 games, I want to see our starting 11. None of this Fabio Vieira, none of this Nketiah, none of this Kivior. I want to see I want to see Mikel Arteta's starting 11 going into that Man City game in the Community Shield, because this is the whole point of these games, is to get the team ready, the squad ready, new tactics, new formations, all that. Now's the time to put in your first 11. Put Declan Rice in. Get your first 11 in now. Get them playing some games. I think Zinchenko. I don't know what's happening with Zinchenko.
He's not injured. It looks like.
Yeah, I thought he's injured, but he's not there. But hey ho.
No, he's there, but he's not. He didn't dress for the.
That's still weird. But I want to see our starting 11 now. No, because it's America, we've got to put the Austin Trusty in. No, starting 11 now against United, against Barcelona, because I think they'll do the same. I reckon they'll put out their starting 11. And this, if you realistically think about it, the fact we're playing Barcelona, and I do hope they put out their best 11, because again, it's good practice for the Champions League, because we're now going in back with the big boys, starting to compete with the big boys this season, and these competitions, these games, will help going towards these competitions. So This is why I don't want to see we'll rotate, put a bit of Jorginho in there, Fabio Vieira, and Nketiah. No, I want Mikel Arteta's 11 that he wants going into the Premier League season, because I think it's only right and it makes sense in my opinion. And,
I mean, I agree. Diesel, what would you want to see out of the games coming up in United in New York and Barcelona and LA? And then I want to go to Matt with the same question, because honestly, here's my thought on that. The MLS All-Star game, as cool as it was a freaking joke. It was a dog and pony show. We were always going to go out there and absolutely kick the crap out of them. It was an exercise, and here's what we got, and we're just going to dominate you. But what do you want to see, Diesel?
Yeah, do you know what? I don't want to come across as harsh, right, or negative. So it's everyone's favorite word.
That word is.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean real? Oh, you mean real? You mean reality?
Exactly.
Critical thinking.
Hey, Diesel, call it like it is, man. You over here?
Exactly.
Remember reality, man.
You don't call bullshit.
You're not going to get
I'll be
labeled
honest.
here.
I'll be honest with you guys. I take these games for what they are. They're exhibition matches. For me, it's irrelevant who we play, how big the team is. I get what Connor's saying, and I do agree with him too. If I'm honest with you, because we've had a couple of games where fitness and mess around and play one team in the second half, make 11 subs and do a completely different team. But I think now we've got those 2 out of the way. Now with these 2, now put your plans into focus. Now put your, whatever your preferred lineup is, whether we agree with it or not, it's what's in your head, Mikel. Start to implement that now, so that by the first, our first Premier League game, everyone's on point. Everyone's on job. Everyone knows what their job is. Everyone knows what they got to do. There's no tinkering. We go from that first game. But I think with these, we've had it in the past. They're fitness games. They are there to improve fitness. We played well against MLS. I get that, and some of those goals were lovely. I judge Arsenal in the league. I don't judge them in games like this, because my issue with Arsenal is when the pressure's off, we can play champagne football and it's all lovely and it's Disney. and it's candy floss and Care Bears, right? That's cool. Yeah. The league, when it comes to the crunch, the league is where it matters. That's where it's at. We play Man United next. We could smash them 5-6-0. All right, it's not impossible. We could. Yeah. Could we do that in the league though? Probably not.
Yeah.
That's the differential for me. That's where I'm like, do it when it matters, Arsenal. Don't do it where. Do you get what I mean? Do it in the league where it matters. So that's
and also, in no disrespect to American fans, because there's no disrespect to Will, but if you do think about it, Old Trafford compared to New York, there'll be a difference.
It's MetLife Stadium, and it's gonna be a split crowd.
Exactly. Really I get what Diesel means by that. Judge them on the Premier League, because let's be real, United and Arsenal players are going to care more about what happens in the league than what they do again in a friendly.
Yeah,
they are, and in front of their home fans in the Emirates, or because Old Trafford, when it goes wrong, all of them go on top of them like crazy. So, well, from what I've seen anyway. So, but still, I want to see. I know. Yeah, it's only a friendly, doesn't mean much, but I still want to see. I don't want to see no, like Diesel said, 45-minute substitutions, 11 different players, and why do that? What's the point? Like, why? And I get he wants to give players some game time, but players like Cole
He needs to show Austin Trusty to all the Americans that don't care.
I know, TJ, but it's like, but why do these players need to come on? They're not going to play. They're not going to play when we. Why Cole Hine was playing? I don't know. Why Runnerson's here? I don't know. Why like Austin Trusty? Why is he here? I know it's the American tour.
We're gonna sell him. We're gonna sell him as soon as we're gonna leave him in LA.
Exactly. I know you're going to quickly throw the question to Matty, but I'm a bit worried because I know we've started playing some games, but Edu isn't playing these games. Why haven't we heard anything about outgoings? Just saying. We've got all these players. Pepe is training on his own. Sambi's training on his own. Tavares is training on his own. Where's the outgoings? Why do I feel like Edu's just sitting on his desk on his phone playing Candy Crush? Like, I've already done my work. Spent 200 mil. I'm all right now. They'll give me some breathing space now. I can just chill and do what I want. Because that's what they're going to leave late. I think they're going to leave late, and I think they're going to leave cheap. What do you think, Matt?
This is what I think. I talked to Warren. Me and Warren chatted early this morning. Mm-hmm. I told Warren, I'm just sitting back watching. All this philosophy, all this stuff. Last season told me all I need to know going into this season. Anything less than a trophy from this manager, he needs to go. Yeah. It's in the discussion this year.
Yeah, it's in the discussion.
The talking, all of this is hoping and print. No, it's time for shut up. It's time to put up or shut up. This is year 1, 2, 3, 4. Year 4, almost $5 billion. $1 billion.
$1 billion, babe.
$1 billion. Not
$1 billion. Yeah, $1 billion. There's nothing to talk about outside of trophies going in the cabinet this year. There's nothing else to discuss. I don't hear anything about. We've got to give this team time to gel. This is his creation.
Right.
This team this year, the signings, Kai Havertz, $65 million. That is his creation this season. I'm going to be sitting back. I'm going to be on these watch-alongs, and I'm going to be looking at this team. What they do this weekend means nothing to me. What they did the other night, I didn't even watch the game. I just watched what was going on in our 3 to see what was going on.
Yeah.
The MLS, Arsenal, no, that's just I could have went and got my high school team that I coached last year to go out and give y'all a better shot than what we got on the other night. No, I'm not putting any stock into this stuff. I'm not falling for this. We were 248 days plus at the top of the table. And what did we get last year, y'all? What did we get? We're not talking about going into next season. So no. I'm not buying into it. When they get out there, and if they can drop 5 on everybody the first 12 games of the season, now you might have my attention. Now I might look over and see what's going on. But until I see trophies in the cabinet this year, and shout out to Yorkshire Gunner, who me and him talk about this all the time. He said, everybody's talking about the Champions League, but I'm not hearing talk about winning the Champions League, challenging to win the thing. Because for years, all we heard was we need to get back in the Champions League. We got to get back in the Champions League. For what? If we're not in it to win it, then why are we there? That's my philosophy this season. We need to be winning everything. Starting what? What am I looking at here? 2 or 3 weeks against City? Yeah, that's the first thing that needs to be up for. I know it's not a massive trophy, but to me, everything is on the table this year.
Yep.
Because I don't want any to feel, well, we pushed City in the cup, we pushed them, so that means we're fighting, all this stuff. No, we need to be winning. City is selling players. I'm pretty sure they're gonna restock and retool, but we need to be taking advantage of this stuff this season. All of it is time to put up or shut up is here. It's time for this man to produce. I am tired of the excuses. I've watched the fanboys go crazy the last 2 days. They were over the moon with that game with the MLS. And I'm just saying to myself, this is the MLS.
They never play with each other.
Whoever the bottom 2 teams in the Scottish League is probably where we are. I hadn't heard one Chelsea fan say, man, we ran Wrexham off the bar. I hadn't heard one word about it.
They basically played their under 21s against Wrexham, by the way.
I watched it. I was on the plane. I was on the plane coming back from Dallas. I watched it, and I'm telling you, this season, the players that have been in this team for a long length of time, they're under the microscope this year. We're gonna find out this year, y'all, which players can really handle pressure. Champions League, cup competitions, because now these are grown men now. The Martinellis, the Sakas, he just got a big deal. All these players that we're bringing in.
Yep.
Can Declan Rice handle pressure when it counts now? Yeah, we know he won at West Ham, but see, when you put on the red and white, it's a different ball game. Different ball game when you put on red and white. I don't care anything about what he's done over West Ham. He's playing for the Arsenal now. So I expect high maximum output week in and week out. This season is the season to put up or shut up, as far as I'm concerned.
I want to ask a question to the panel that we were talking about. Yeah, hold on one second. All right. Yeah, round of applause, Maddie, preaching because everything he's just said is facts. So, and I wanted to bring this up because this was brought up on my new show that we're doing over on Tottenham Away called North London is Ours, and this is a really, really good question. I think really, really good question. I want to hear everybody's response. So last year's excuse was that we didn't have the depth that City has. So we brought in players that should give us that depth. And a lot of Man City's key guys, Gundo, Mahrez, potentially Silva. Who else? Freaking
Kyle Walker.
Yeah, Kyle Walker. All of them are leaving. Okay. We can't use that as an excuse anymore, in my opinion. Is Man City dangerous and still a threat? And in my opinion, still a favorite? Yes, I do think so. Because they have Pep Guardiola. Can't forget about that. But I want to get everybody's opinion. Is our depth equal to Man City at this point in the transfer window? Maybe Diesel, we can start with you. And then just go around Goonie next.
Do you know what, right? This is one thing that really winds me up, right, with a lot of Arsenal fans, right? The fact that we didn't win it last year and it's blamed on Man City. They were that good. They had strength in depth. They had a bigger squad. They had this, they had that. I'm sorry. We need to look at ourselves. You know what I mean? People in glass houses, right? I'm a big fan of that saying. Mm-hmm. We blew it because of us, not Man City. We had it in our hands. I didn't hear anyone moaning about depth when we were top and we were putting teams away, right? It's only because we lost it that a lot of Arsenal fans, they're reaching out for those excuses just to pardon the manager and pardon the team. The truth is we bottled it, right? We couldn't handle the pressure. We're playing one game a week, right? And people want to tell me about squad depth. He's got a squad there. He didn't use the squad properly. Right, they're playing one game a week. Every time Saka has a bad game, he's tired. He's probably the fittest athlete at that club. One game a week. I mean, I'm used to growing up where we used to watching our teams in the past playing 2-3 games a week. These are the fitter than what their players were years ago. They're athletes. They fly in luxury. I'm sorry, they're pampered. They're pampered players. So that squad depth for me is a poor excuse. The truth of the matter is, and we don't like saying it because it's our team. But let's be real about it. They bottled it. When it comes to the crunch, they didn't want it enough. It's got nothing to do with Man City and their squad and what they do, because we topped Man City for a large majority of the season. Then when the going got tough, you know, they turned it on and we couldn't hack it. We couldn't handle it. It's as simple as that. It's got nothing to do with depth. It's all to do with mentality. It's all to do with how badly do these players want it. You know, and it's as simple as that. Yes, we have. I mean, I'm really excited about Declan Rice. I personally think Declan Rice is slightly overrated. I do. But saying that, I do think he's overrated. I do think, though, in a better team like Arsenal, where the majority of games we will have, you know, possession, and you know we'll have much more of the ball than most other teams. We have to remember he's coming over here from West Ham, and I totally agree with what Matt said. I think everyone's hyping this guy up to he's going to be the new Vieira, and I don't want to hear that. Right? We need to forget what he's done for West Ham. He's now at the Arsenal. Let's see what he does here. Personally, I think Declan Rice has got a lot to prove. I'm excited to see, because I do think there is a really good player in there who will only get better in a better team. My issue is a lot of these Arsenal fans are putting all this pressure on him, calling him the new Vieira, this, that, the other. If he flops, we're going to look stupid. It's like when Partey signed and we all done that dance. I mean, it's you know, it's Havertz. I think there is a player in there, but again, he's got a lot to prove as well, right? And what I like about this season is Arteta. There's no excuses now. Edu has been giving this guy rope, right? Well, you know, we've not been buying players with potential. In the next 5 years, they could be world class. No, we've bought ready-made players who are ready to go into the team and play now from the off. So as far as I'm concerned, everything this man has wanted, he's got, right? I don't think he should be at the club now, personally, but he is. And, yeah, we shall see. But, TJ, the squad depth, it's a load of rubbish. We were playing one game a week. Right, we're going to play more or less double the amount of games this season. So let's see, because we need to like shift players. I personally think we need more. I don't think 3 players is enough. I think we need more personally. But yeah, let's see. But listen, it's all about mentality above anything else. It's this up there, and I still don't think this team have fully got it. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Dal, what do you think?
I agree with Diesel.
Thank you for that contribution.
No, I think that's right on the money. It's always been about mentality, because we weren't talking about depth. We were only talking about depth when some of the injuries happened. Now, we weren't, you know, we were 2-0 up at Liverpool, and then everything went south because of our friend Granit Xhaka, and then that's when the collapse happened, the second collapse. So now that I think we have improvements in there, and I'm not weighing heavily on Kai Havertz, but I think there's something there if he can play in a 4-3-3 as the Xhaka position, arriving late in the box like he does with the ladies and all that other stuff. But the fact of the matter is he's just not exactly what we need, I think, defensively. And I've talked about this before, TJ, too. If we have Zinchenko on the left and Havertz on the left, and Zinchenko's inverted, we have a wide gap. And I'm worried tactically this season, even more than last season, about what Arteta's going to do, because he's going to get more ideas of how he can mix up the squad, and he's going to get to start the tinkering, right? And tinkering to me is when you start losing concentration on what lies ahead, right? Because you're thinking about, oh, what player haven't I played, or what player needs time, or he looked better than him in training, so I better get him in. And all of a sudden you start mixing up with the normal 11, and you start dropping games or points, you know? So I think this season, above all, like Jez has said in the chat, and even Diesel and Matt for sure, that this is the season. If it doesn't happen now, he's got to go. Other players are going to have to leave, and we're going to have another shakeup. And I'm tired of being a project club. It seems like every year, especially Wenger's final years, oh, the project this, the project that. I'm fucking done of hearing about a project. A project, by definition, has a beginning and an end. And we've never had an end to this project that we've spent now roughly 15 years doing. So this is the make or break year, TJ. And I just think that, you know, like, I agree with Diesel, the depth wasn't there. But at the same time, I think that we could have made a couple more moves in January, but those players wouldn't necessarily change the mentality. Right.
Yeah, I
making a signing doesn't change the mentality of the whole club. Go ahead.
I think the project ended in after the World Cup was over. That's when the project ended for me. We were in first place. Sorry to beat a dead horse, but we had it all in our hands, right?
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I 100% agree with you. I'm just saying, like, if we're sizing up the competition, I think it's a little closer than it was last time.
Yeah,
At least at the start. If you're looking player to player, quality of player, we are a lot better than we were last year. That's why this year, no excuses. Matt, what are you going to say?
I kind of got off your topic about the Man City comparison.
It's cool. It's cool. No, it's fine.
Yeah, and so, but right. I mean, we don't know where Bernardo Silva is going to go. I think he's going to go to PSG. There's really, I mean, for him to stay at City would be, I mean, what's he really going to do there? I don't think he'll have that many minutes anyway. I think he's pushing 30 years old. So I think the Bernardo Silva thing is going to happen. But you're right. And truly looking at City on paper compared to us right now, with the outgoings the City have had, they look a bit weaker. And I'm not afraid to admit that. But that doesn't mean that we are now another level above them. I think Rice is going to help. But like Diesel said, if he's a flop, I mean, then what? And is Arteta known for having a plan B? Not really.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like the 105 mil, the money anymore doesn't bother me because I still think there was probably one or two players we could have gotten for that amount of money that almost just as good. But let's see what he does in the red and white. And like Matty said, it's a whole different ballgame when you're on a different team. You know, just the being around these so-called winners, you know, with like Jesus and so forth. And you could call Saka a winner in some cases, right? I think that'll even help Rice even develop more and get better. And I think he'll click well with the team. But if it doesn't start off good, like Matt said, it's going to be a long ride.
Call me overly positive, but I'm really looking forward to seeing him in that Xhaka position if Partey stays. I'm really looking forward.
I think if Partey stays, I don't think he starts. I still think it's a midfield three of Havertz, Rice, and Odegaard.
Oh, my God. I just don't want to see that.
I really do. Because I really think that Havertz is in there to fill the Xhaka role on the left. I can't imagine where else he's
not big enough. He's not aggressive enough, I don't think.
That's what I was just talking about. You know, if he's defending on the left and Zinchenko's inverted and can't get back in position, there's a massive gap on our left side. And I don't know how Arteta is going to address that. Yeah. Because Havertz, he can't score, he can't defend, but he can pass and move, and he can show up late in the box and, you know, do all that other fancy stuff that he gets paid to do. But obviously he's not a finisher, he's not a goal scorer, and he's definitely – I don't know how good he is at defense and midfield. You know, who's he going to? Is he going to stop Casermo from barreling down the pitch? He's going to stop Rodri. I mean, what's he going to do defensively? You know, so we'll have to wait and see. But I hope this game against United and Barcelona coming up, I want to see real intent to win. And that's a quick point too. Is why the reason why I watched the game, I really didn't care too much, was because I didn't want to see a 2-1 win or a 1-0. I would have been fuming. Hammer them 5-0. And of course I watched it because you were there, TJ, and all the rest of the crew and stuff. But yeah, I was going to be really disappointed if it was a 1-0, 2-1 game. Yeah, so at least it was that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this Barcelona game, Man United. I want to see some competitiveness.
Yeah,
I want to win those games.
I agree. What do you think? What do you think, Connor? We haven't heard from you in a minute.
Yeah. So this is about what the depth we're still talking about.
Yeah, and we were talking about this, and you were very opinionated. Thanks, by the way, for watching that show yesterday. That was.
Oh, mate, it was the eager to want to join it. Just
yeah, but what did you think? What did you think of that conversation? I mean, I disagreed with a lot of what Stefan said. I think Stefan's absolutely delusional.
Yeah, Stefan, if you're watching, bro, big up to you. But my God, as a fellow Arsenal fan, bro, that was tough to watch. Some of the stuff he was saying. I'm sorry, it was. I mean, like, listen, no, it was a good show. It was a good show. But yeah, some of the stuff that was being said, in my opinion, was just crazy. Saying, you know, Nketiah is better than Balogun, like all that kind of stuff. I'm thinking, what? But hey, listen. But anyway, not about that. We're all Arsenal fans. We all you know, support each other. So I ain't gonna get on that. But on the depth side of things, yeah, I agree with Diesel. Like, I'm not having that this season. Oh, it was depth. Oh, City, blah blah blah. City have the better players than Arsenal. It's facts. They do. We've got good players, in my opinion. We've got. I saw a thing today. Martinelli and Saka, in my opinion, are part of the top 10 wingers in the world at the moment. I think they're both world class or on the verge of world class. I think they're fantastic, especially the season that Martinelli had last season. I think he's really coming into it. So, no, I don't want to hear the whole depth thing this season. I will always say it on every stream. We've done the title charge last season. Excuse my language. We fucked it up. We can do it again. We've shown we can do it. And again, I'm not going to have the whole, Liverpool had a bad season. Chelsea had the worst season in years. Well, let's say that they finished 10th about, six seasons ago. But I'm not having none of that. We're Arsenal Football Club. We were winning titles just as I was born. I wish I could have seen it. It's in our blood. It's not an unusual thing. So we can go ahead and do it. We've got, right now, the players that can do a title charge. Why? Because they've done it last season. So they can do it again. It's all about mentality, people. I'm not having it was a fluke, it was a one-off. No. We were ahead for how many, we've made the point, 248 days. We can do it, And if Arteta doesn't do it and the team don't perform, well, Arteta's going to be the first man to go, that's for sure. But I do like the fact that we've brought in players early, 3 good players, 3 players that we're all happy with. Well, majority of us. I know people aren't too sure about Kai Havertz. I want him to prove himself. I really want him to come into this Arsenal side and really show up. Give Chelsea fans the big middle finger. I couldn't do it there, but I'm doing it at Arsenal. That's the perfect scenario I want to see. Brought in Declan Rice. Really happy about that. It's now just a case of, I think we've got, defensively wise, think about it. I'd still have Rob Holding. Defensively wise, I think we're all right. Maybe a centre-back, but I don't think that's our priority at the moment. And incomings wise, we're now going to be going for a right-sided forward, which in my opinion makes no sense. TJs a string with Kenny Ken. Why did we sign Reece Nelson to a 4-year deal if we're looking at a right winger? Sorry, but how does that make sense to me? That means we've got 3 right wingers. Okay.
That'll be Leverkusen, right?
Yeah. Well, we're now looking at Kudus from Ajax. I've never even watched him, but apparently we're now best mates of Ajax because we just bought Timber. So we're now looking for Mohamed Kudus from Ajax.
What is the point?
I know, but we need a striker. It's clear and obvious. If we were to bring in, and I completely understand, in this market, it is very difficult to find yourself a 25 goal a season striker for cheap money, for maybe 50. It's very difficult because they're going to be worth a lot of money. So if we were going to go for someone, we'd do that. And if it was the Arsenal way, and if we'd done this properly, I reckon we could sell enough in this team that we've got the amount of dross we've got in this team right now to maybe afford half of a decent striker. Harry Kane's looking to go to Bayern Munich, for about £80 million, 90 million. If we sell off half the dross we've got in this team, we could probably afford half of that and just pay the other half. I know it would never happen, but that's the kind of scenario we look at it. And so, no, to go back onto the point, I'm not going to hear the whole depth thing, this and that. This squad, even Matty said earlier, this squad, there's no more, they're all youngsters, they're experienced, they're getting into it. These are fully fledged players now. They know what it means to wear the Arsenal badge. They all know what the weight they're carrying. And I really hope that they understand what this season means and how bad they need to bring silverware into this club now. Because it's not a joke. It's not a thing of, we'll throw away the Carabao Cup just so we can focus on these others. And then, but when it comes to it, we don't win any of them. We still had a good season, though. I'm not having none of that this season. We need silverware at this football club. And even if we do a domestic double, I feel like being fantastic. We need something. I'm not having, we're going to throw out the third team for this cup competition. We need to be going for any club should do it. I know we've now got players that we can rotate. I agree with. Some are bad, some are all right that we can rotate with. But we've now got a side, in my opinion, that needs to be going for every single competition. I'm not having none of this. We're focusing. We may be first in the league, second in the league. We're now focusing on that, so we can't go in the Champions League. I want Arsenal to really grab themselves by the balls and go into the Champions League this season and say, we're going to do this. We're going to really go for it. I know we probably won't. I don't know where the excuse will be, it's our first season back in the Champions League in 7-6 years. We're just getting into it. But if we really want to act like a big football club, like we are, because we are a big football club, we're one of the biggest in England. We're probably one of the biggest in the world. We've got to be going into the Champions League by the scruff of the balls and going, we're going to go for this. We're not just going to, be the team that gets hit on, that goes into, the round of 16, and that's the team that's definitely going to go out by Milan or Real Madrid. We've got to go for this stuff, man. Because if we want, because our players been here for long enough, He should. I hope he knows. And I said this the other day with you and Kenny Kent, TJ. I hope he understands that this is the make or break season for him. If he doesn't bring, I hope he knows that his job is on the line this season. He better know, because I'm not having none of this. Oh, it's all right, Mikel. If you don't win anything, you still be here next season. He's got to win something, otherwise the job's gone. I hope Edu or the board make that so clear to him.
Well, no, and here's the thing that concerns me a little bit, and then I want to hear Matt's take on this. First of all, 26 inside, great crowd for a Friday night in the UK. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you're smashing a like. Make sure you are subbing if you're new, hitting the notification bell, and subbing to absolutely everybody on this panel. This is a legendary panel. What do we do at TJ Warren TV? We bring you the legends. That's it. That's the beginning and the end. Okay, so You got to think, and I do think that the Cronkies have their finger on the button here. If we don't win anything, he has to go. But the question for Matt and maybe for Diesel here is that if it doesn't happen, and then Kroenke keeps him in, will the Arsenal fan base respond in kind to the fact that they're not getting the results? I mean, we're 5 people that expect a trophy or he's gone this season. Period. End of story, right? But a lot of other people aren't that way. What do you think, Matt?
All right, I want to answer the twofold question there. First question, and then that one there. First question, squad depth. This it's like Diesel said, man. Last season we pissed that thing away. We had that title. It was right there. It was all in our hands, as they say. The fish was being fried. We had it all to play for, and we washed it away. So we go out. Like I said earlier, we make the signings. They're here. They're playing. We still need some folks to go. As far as I'm concerned, we need about 4 or 5 other players in this team. We need a 25, 30 goal striker. Balogun needs to stay. Nketiah needs to go. There's still some stuff that needs to be taken care of. We still got some house cleaning. Holden is still on this team. He needs to go. Lakonga's still in this team. He needs to go. Suarez won't leave. I've never seen that before. Players, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying together. He's not going anywhere.
He's got to be, and I'm not just Cedric, because he's probably a nice guy, but he's got to be delusional, right? How in God's name does he think he's getting into the Arsenal starting 11?
But see, Connor,
before he shipped him off to Fulham.
Connor, this is the problem. This is one of my problems with this regime is that we end up, and this is why, I'm glad you said it about Rice, because what we have done over the last several years that goes under the radar is we buy players, and then when they are no good, we can't get rid of them. But for some way or another, Chelsea finds a way to get rid of everything and get double for their trouble. But we get stuck holding the bag with players like Suarez. Rob Holden. And we're up here haggling with these Greek teams. Brother, take him. Whatever you want for him. $500,000. Get him out this.
There was a team willing to buy Rob Besiktas. We're willing to buy Rob Holding, and we rejected it.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, Turkish team. Yeah,
2.5 million. Why are we not accepting that?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It should, whatever came, we should, it should have been done, But then let's look at this, because I'm hearing city. I keep hearing city. But I'm not hearing anybody say Newcastle, Aston Villa, Chelsea's gonna figure it out. Man United. If you think Man United is gonna put up with the crap they put up with the last couple of years, I told y'all I got a breach in my backyard back there. I'd be more than glad to bring to you. Let me tell you, it's just not gonna be like it was last season. And I think some of our fan base, the reality is that we were so close that they think that we're automatically gonna come back and go straight in second place because it's Arsenal. We did it last year. No, if you think these other teams are gonna just sit by and watch us come in here and run roughshod over people, you are out of your mind. Liverpool signed Szoboszlai. They're out here making deals. Today, Aston Villa. I can hear Tony Clark going ballistic because that was the player he'd been talking about for the whole summer that he wanted. It's sitting right down at Aston Villa for chump change. $35 million is what they paid for him. for Diablo.
Yeah,
35 million.
I was fuming about that one
I
too.
was still bad about that.
I mean, that's what $35 million for a player like that. And he's going to be up under the tutelage of Unai Emery. Y'all saw where Aston Villa was at last year and where they finished, and you think that team's just going to we're not going to do anything. No, this year is going to be very, very tough for us. It's going to be very, very tough, and people need to realize that. And I forgot the other question. What was the other question, TJ?
The other question was: Is the fan base going to hold Mikel Arteta responsible?
No, because they write songs. He's super mint Arteta.
I didn't sing that, by the way.
They love him. They love him. He knows the way. He's the guiding light.
He's the best looking Spaniard we know.
The best looking Spaniard. Yes. No.
Salma Hayek is the best looking Spaniard I know.
In that, TJ, is one of the main problems with this football club. We all grew up, especially me and Diesel and Connor and OG. We grew up when Arsenal were at the top. At the top. Anything less was unacceptable. But for some weird reason, now all of a sudden, just doing decent is good enough. I told Lee Gunner this last week. I said, Lee, if we buy I'll just 248 days at the top, we'll throw that to the side. Let's just sit that to the side. Okay, by the fan base's logic, if we challenged last year, explain to me why can we not come out here and challenge for titles and then hold them accountable for it? Because if we challenged last year, then why can we not come out and put in those challenges for those titles that we threw away this year and hold them accountable? He has to be held accountable, TJ. Now, in that, we all know who the usual suspects are. We know they're going to find a way to spin this. We know the spin is coming, but us five, Jazz and Kenny, the League of Rational Gentlemen, we have got to hold this club to the fire. And I'm going to do it this year because last season pissed me off. And I told y'all last year, I said, if we threw that title away, I was going to be on a tear. In this season, I'm going to be on a tear. Everybody is going to be held to the fire. Soccer, I don't give a damn about what he does against MLS. He signed a big-time deal. These players are signing big-time deals. It's the same way when Nketiah was in the room signing $100,000 deals. I expected $100,000 output. That deal that Soccer signed, I expect that output. Saliba, player I like, he signed that big-time deal. Well, I want to see the same output that he was putting in before that deal. Jesus, well, the excuse I heard last year, he got hurt, man. He couldn't get the goals up. He was rolling, then he got hurt. He was never the same, Well, now he's had time to get himself sorted out, and the season's here. Let's get it rolling. Kai Havertz, you brought him up early. Kai Havertz. I hope that this gentleman listens to everything I say and what I've said over the last month, because I hope that motivates this young man. Because this young man should be out on a mission to prove everybody wrong. That should be his objective, to come out and shut us all up and say, you know what? I can do what I did on Wednesday night on a daily basis. I can do that when I get ready to do it. Odegaard is another one this season. Last year, Dennis Bergkamp. I heard all these comparisons to the players last year. Well, this year, son, this is year 3 for you. It's time for you to put up or shut up. Nketiah, if he stays in his team, he's got to produce something. He's got to produce something, or he needs to go. There's several players. Want to give him the opportunity. Martinelli, he's got to produce on a consistent basis. It's like I said, everybody's name is on the chopping block this year for me, all the way down to the manager. The manager, as you were saying earlier, you were talking about, the depth wasn't there. This and the third. Who is he going to play? That's his problem, because now he has a whole dossier that he can go through on players that's in this team. He's got 25 players to work with this year. You figure it out, Arteta. They say, because we've been told that he knows what he's doing. Well, this is the season, and I'm gonna keep saying it. This is the season for him to show me what he's doing, what he knows what he's doing. Otherwise, needs to go.
I agree, Matt. I think some of that even comes in the next 2 games. I want to see a competitive match against United and Barcelona. I don't give a crap if they're friendlies or not, because those are teams that we play against. Well, Barcelona could be a team we play in the Champions League very easily.
Yep. OG.
I just want to see the effort, man. I just want to see the effort, bro.
There's no reason, given what we've seen. We've seen players separately do outstanding things in this team. There's no reason that, because they've been together so long, that they cannot come out and put on the show each week. Diesel, y'all remember back in the I'm trying to get my year right. I have to remember the year we had Kleb in the team. We had Adebayor. We had that team. Really, that team should have won a title. There's no reason that team should not come out and put out that same kind of output that we saw back then. I'm not even going to go back to 09, 07, 06, 05, 04. I'm not even going to do that to them.
Yeah.
They should be able to come back to the late 2000s is where they should be at, because they've been together so long. That output is what we should see this season on a higher level. We should be able to go down to the Bernabeu and put in a shift. We should leave there and go right over to the Allianz and try to put in a shift. We should go to these teams and start taking it, especially these Milan teams, because they're right around the same age bracket. We should be going right on over there and start putting the teams to the fire. I don't want to hear this season, because I was told that once we get in the Champions League, everything was going to be all right. We're going to be good to go because we're in the Champions League. This is it. This is the season. This is the season for me. Because if he doesn't get it done this season, my friend, not only him, Edu, Kroenke and them, all of them, the fire needs to be turned up. The fire needs to be turned up to 1,000. It was 113 degrees where I was at in Dallas the other day. It need to be that times 5 for this regime this year.
Facts.
Facts. I don't even know how to follow it up. Yeah, he's gotten two standing ovations. All right, I don't even know how to follow that up.
Absolutely on it tonight.
Big up everybody. Big up everybody in the chat, by the way. Make sure you're smashing likes 24 inside. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. Question for the panel from Carl Rossi. Do you see more signings coming, considering we've already spent $200 million? A lot more is needed, and I don't see it happening. Diesel.
Do you know what? Can I just, before I answer that, sorry, can I just, because
Free reign, brother, go.
Yeah, I'm sitting here and I'm listening to all you guys, and I'm just getting things popping up in my head. And it's right. This is what I say all the time, right? And I think this is where, going back to your point earlier on about will these Arsenal fans hold Mikel to account? No, they won't, because we've got the worst, scummiest fan base in world football. And I genuinely believe that. I don't even say that for banter. I really do believe that, right? And I think the problem is, I'll give you like an example, right? We signed Zinchenko. Now, bear in mind, we've signed him from the Champions. And yet, anyone who's watched that when he done his first day in his tour of Arsenal, and he done that statement where he actually come out and said, blimey, I knew Arsenal were big, but I didn't know they were this big, right? Now, you guys are out there. Obviously, Arsenal are out there at the moment. You went to the game the other night. TJ, when I say, and I say this to a lot of Arsenal fans, when you go on a pre-season to watch Arsenal, any country they go in the world, they pack out stadiums, right?
Yeah.
Arsenal are that big. Yeah. People don't realize, people just think, small-minded fans think, yeah, they're big in the UK. No, Arsenal are massive worldwide. They are a monster. Believe me, right? They are. We talk about Man City all the time. Yes, respect them, but don't fear them. And I think this is the problem with a lot of Arsenal fans. The way we talk about City, it's like we fear them. We're a bigger club than Man City, believe it or not. We're bigger. We're a bigger club, right? We're a big club, but we don't move like one. We don't act like one. And a lot of that comes down to this fan base. If I asked every Arsenal fan, with these 3 new signings, are Arsenal stronger than what they were last year? They will all say, of course we are. Okay, cool. Then by that logic, then we should go one better than last year, then, because we've got a better team. So to go one better would mean winning the league.
Or win the league.
Oh no, but and then they start stuttering, right? Because you've got them. Yeah, and anyone with intelligence, you can lead them down that path, right? Where they're saying, yeah, it's a better team. Yeah, it's this. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, we got Declan Rice. We got the new Vieira. This, that, the other. Okay, well, cool. Well, then we should go one better then, because we got a better side. this argument about squad depth, I think someone said it in the chat, £1 billion spent, and we're still talking about squad depth. I love, Connor, I love you to bits. But again, I had a falling out with a friend of mine because he said the same thing about Saka and Martinelli being world class. How can you be world class when you've never played in the Champions League? I'm sorry, I'm not buying that. They have got the potential to be world class, but how can they? I mean, we throw that term around so easy now, and that's what winds me up, and that's why I'm so old school. I don't know. They haven't won anything. You can't be world class if you've not won nothing, and if you've not played in the biggest competition in football, hence the Champions League, right? Or the World Cup, you know what I mean? Or win the World Cup or whatever. This thing, the Carling Cup, right? Now, we've all said we need to win a trophy. I've heard Pep, who for me is the best manager in world football. I love this guy.
Hands down.
The amount of times he talks about the Carling Cup, right, in his interviews. This is a man who takes that seriously. If any manager and club could afford to piss that away, it would be them. But no, they don't. They go for it. Pep wants to win. He don't care how small that trophy is. He wants to win it. The man is a winner, a born winner. That is who I put Mikel up against, because if you want to be the best, you got to pit yourself against the best. He's the best. He's the best. And we have an arrogance where Carling Cup, play a little side, whatever. No, Pep takes that. Pep plays a strong side, albeit one or two, second string players coming in. But ultimately, he puts out a strong side, which is why they win it so much. A trophy's a trophy, right? It's only the likes of these stupid Arsenal fans who try and put it down. Yeah? We're not arrogant enough to be turning away trophies. I don't care what it is. A trophy's a trophy. We go to win. Right? It's as simple as that. And that stems from the manager. Right? And as we all say, shit rolls downhill. Right? So it's got to come from him. Do I think we're going to sign any more players? I think we need to. I think we need a striker. I love Jesus, but let's have it right. He's not a 20, 25 goal a season striker. He's not. They've got Haaland. I want a striker to compete with that. Or to get as close to that as possible, right? Jesus ain't doing it. We're going to depend on everyone pitching in with 10, 15 goals. He gets that 10, they get 10, he gets 15, they get 5, cool. But no, we need a top-class striker. I'll go for Ivan Toney. I don't care if he's on the ban. I would buy him now. I will wait for Ivan Toney. I think he's that good, and I think he'd be the perfect fit for Arsenal. I think if Arsenal sell players, which we need to, then I personally think we may get another one in. I don't. If this is what they're going on, what they're counting on to go next season, playing more or less double the amount of games, it's nowhere near enough for me, right? Man United are in the same problem as us in terms of they just absolutely useless at getting players out. I've got no respect for players who are just sitting there pocketing money. They should want to go and play. Cedric needs to go somewhere and play. And my argument to that is there are worse players in world football than Cedric, and they get sold no problem. So I'm sorry, I'm not having that as an excuse. All these football clubs in world football, you can't find one club to buy them. So that just shows me our negotiation, who's in charge of that, is absolutely terrible. So club like Arsenal, Chelsea managed to do it. Why can't we ring up Saudi Arabian clubs and say, look, we've got all these players here, take them. Chelsea are doing it. I don't know. But yeah.
I don't think a drop of oil for Rob Holding there, Diesel.
Diesel brought up a good point, and I told Tony Claude this. I think Arteta, we can't afford this season to be what I call a hope strategy. I hope that Gabriel gives us 13 goals. I hope that Saka can step up another level. I hope that this player can score. I hope that, it's the hope strategy. This season is not the season for the hope strategy. We need a striker. End of discussion. We have not had a solid goal scoring striker, and I'd almost be bold enough to say since Giroud, and maybe Aubameyang.
No,
Aubameyang. I'd say Aubameyang for like 2 seasons.
Maybe
I don't think Aubameyang is as good as everybody was like cracking him up to be. He was never.
Come on, you can't say that.
No, at the end there, give me a break.
He was carrying our team for like 2 seasons.
He carried us to a trophy.
He carried us to a trophy. Last time we won a trophy.
The bottom line here is that we need somebody that we can lean on to score.
We need somebody better than Aubameyang.
Ivan Toney. That he is a textbook striker. You wait till you come out the slammer. You wait till you get out of the hole, and he gets back on the market. And you watch the money. You'll have Arsenal fans going, "Oh well, he hadn't played in so many months. That was last season."
The thing is with Ivan Toney, there was when it was on the Arsenal documentary, Nice Think About the Lads. All the Arsenal fans were going for him, right? Oh, you're a fake Brentford player. You said fuck Brentford in the video. You're not loyal to your club. Why would you come to Arsenal? You shouldn't come to Arsenal. So if Ivan Toney joined Arsenal tomorrow, all of them, oh my God, Tony, you're right. How are you? Here you go, handshake. It's all the same, all the absolute same. I mean, I don't care whether Tony said fuck Brentford or he says fuck Arsenal, but he's a quality striker. He'll get you goals. He's tall. He's fast. He would be so perfect for Arsenal. It's untrue. And I think we could have snapped, if he was available, we could snatch him for maybe 50, 60. He'd be very expensive, but I think he would be not to the point where he's spending 100, 150.
Yeah,
that's where he'd be absolutely perfect. Sorry, Matt, I didn't mean to.
No, you brought up something else I thought about too. Is that back in the day, man, people look at that Sol Campbell deal, and I'm here to tell you, man, back in the day, Arsenal would probably put a bid in for Harry Kane. If they wanted him bad enough, they would have went and got him. But the problem is we don't feel that's not going to happen. You don't know because we hadn't tried. I mean, they got a fool running Tottenham over there. I mean, all he's worried about is Shakira concerts and Sade and everybody else coming over there to perform.
And they got Richarlison too.
Yeah, Richarlison. I mean, why can't we go in there? See, that's moving like a big club.
Matt,
you may not get him, but hey, man, we put 115 down on the table. He turned it down.
Matt, Mbappe is not included in the preseason tournament for.
You know what?
PSG.
I doubt he's coming here. He's probably going to
He's
Real
not
Madrid.
coming here. I'm just saying.
Hey, but like I said, why can't Arsenal go? You know what? Hey man, how much you want for 80? You want 100 with 100 million? Here you go.
Well, that's part of what I was saying, Matt, on other shows is now at least with the Declan Rice purchase, it now puts us in that 9-digit category. At least shows the rest of the world that we'll spend £100 million on the right player.
The money is there.
The money's the money's always been there. You can go look at the coffers online. Jess has said it many times. That's public information. And now with our other acquisitions, we're now the most valuable club in the world by $2 million to $3 million over City. But the thing is to remember is that I think once you start hitting that 100 million caliber, is the doors will open up for us for other players. Maybe not this season, right? Maybe not January, but next summer and the summer after, Arsenal hopefully will now be known as a club that's willing to spend money, which is a problem I've had for a long time because it always felt like we never spent the money. And if we did, we spent it on crap or bought players way too late in the transfer windows, and they never had time to blend or gel. And then all of a sudden, they were a dead player sitting on the bench under Wenger, right? So I think things are changing up now for the better. But I just think that we're still 2 or 3 players short. But I don't think there's just really that one player that we can find, Maddie, that's just going to come in and change things. Like, we're not getting Ronaldo. We're not getting Messi. We're not getting Benzema. We slant probably a 5% chance of getting Mbappe, to be realistic. He's definitely going to go to Real Madrid. The door's wide open right now for them to buy a striker. So would you take Vlahovic?
Would you take Vlahovic right now?
No.
I would, and I don't even know if I would take Ivan Toney. The one striker I would look at right now would be Jonathan David.
Yeah, I can
Jonathan David. And you know who else is dying in purgatory right now? He's not a striker. Is João Felix, because he is not wanted at Atletico Madrid, and he's done at Chelsea. He has.
We sold. But keep in mind now, we funded that deal for him to go to Chelsea.
Well, from the rumor has it is that his entourage was telling him to join Arsenal, and he decided to join Chelsea. Is what I've read. However, he's in purgatory right now in Madrid. He's not an out-and-out striker. He's more of a center forward. But is he Pony Firmino? Again, he's in a shit Chelsea side.
He'll go to Barcelona.
I mean, you're going to wipe away João.
He's going to go on loan to Barcelona. I think.
Yeah, he'll go to Barcelona.
Okay, I mean, you're gonna wipe away João Felix's ability because he had one shit season. And
No,
a shit
I'm not. I mean, if he was available,
because he would fit. If we played a false nine and we had Jesus and João Felix, that would work because Jesus isn't a striker; he's a false nine. Or we can, in my opinion, he could probably do all right as an attacking mid because, as we all know, he has a goal in him, but he is better at creating chances than putting them away. I mean, I was pretty. I know it was only a friendly, but I was pretty blown away by that chip the other day. I thought it was pretty good, and seeing it from the ref's cam, I thought, oh, it's pretty good. But he would work. But yeah, he's a bit of a weird one, João Felix. So I think he's a good talent. How old is he? What, 20, 25 is he? 20, 26 maybe?
it's crazy. I'm getting that old, man.
So maybe, we'll see. I think it could have been a different scenario if he came to us on loan. For that's probably a question. Do you reckon it could have been a different scenario if he came to us instead of Chelsea for that 6 months?
Our style of play would have suited him better.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
He at least got 6 goals. I'd at least just immediately 6 goals.
I think we talked about this on our previous show too, TJ, or you and Connor did on a Wednesday show, that the striker market's really tight right now. There really isn't a name that just, excuse me, that just jumps out. Vlahovic maybe for Juventus. I don't really rate that guy.
We've been linked to that guy. We've been linked to that guy since I kicked the stats out of my cradle. It seems like
I've got a name for y'all.
Thank you, Matt. That was where I was going next.
Diesel, what's your opinion on Balogun? You know, would you rather keep him? You know, because obviously you got the Nketiah saga. Get rid of Nketiah, keep Flo.
Get rid of him.
But I was like me and TJ were speaking to Kenny Ken the other day. He wants to see Flo get games, not just sit on the bench and rock. Because if you're having a player that's being offered 40 to 50 million pounds, you don't want to just keep him on the bench as a secondary. You want to either sell him or get him starting and playing. What's your opinion? Would you sell him? Would you keep him?
I'd keep him. I really like him. What worries me is because of the season he had last season, he's one player that I think Mikel and Edu are going to look at and think, right, now that is a player we can get out the door and get good money for. So in a way, it's a bit of a pro and a con. The pro is if we sell him, I reckon, obviously, that will give us the money to go and get another signing. But on the flip side of that, I think for what he's done last season, how you can sell him and keep Eddie, for me, that is just criminal. I'm sorry. Balogun, for me, is... I just think... do you know what? Jesus will obviously play up there, but if for any reason Jesus injured, I'm not as worried if I know we've got Balogun on the bench. We've got Balogun coming on, and he's going to want to prove... And he looks hungry, and he just looks. I mean, I think Jez said it in the thing, Thierry, like Henry-esque, that sort of. I look at Eddie, and for me, he scores 1 or 2 goals, and everyone thinks he's the saviour. No, I've never rated Eddie. Don't rate him at all. Balogun, keep all day long.
Yeah.
Keep.
Well, I want to see him. Diesel, and this is what I get upset about with Mikel is that we're not seeing him play up the middle, which is where he was scoring all those goals at Reims. So why are we not playing him up the middle, giving him a shout there? I've only seen him being played on the right. So that's really frustrating for me. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I think if we sell him, that could be a potential Andy Cole moment where
We've done that
I know their story, Diesel.
So many times.
I mean, it's when you see a player Diesel said Henry-ish. I was Henry-esque. I was gonna say kind of reminds me of when we got damn, I just drew a blank. But
what nationality was he?
No. What's our striker that was before Henry played for Chelsea Bolton. I can't call his name. PSG too. Played for PSG as well. What's I almost call it. Anelka. Yeah, kind of has that Anelka look.
Well, he does. You're right.
Yeah, kind of has that look. And he has the little bit of the attitude as well. And it's like that is when I see a striker and I see that's somebody he's gonna get you about 12, 15, 20. Yeah. He'll get him to. He'll get him for you. This whole thing with Nketiah, Arteta's gonna have to swallow this L. He's gonna have to swallow because he opted to pay the man $100,000 after 6 games.
And give him the 14 shirt.
Yeah, give him the 14 shirt and all that. It's okay, Arteta. If you're watching this, it's okay. You took that L. Move on, bro. Move on. Sell him for 15 million, 12 million, whatever. It just move him on. Balogun, I would hate to see another moment like with Gnabry, where you sitting up there, you looking at a player that was sitting right there in our team. We had him right there, and then he goes over to Bayern Munich and destroys everything in his way. And we're begging for him to come home, please come back to us, please come back. And it's not going to happen. And then here's Inter Milan is in for this player. I want to say that Inter Milan is in for a player. That right there, the alarm bell should be screaming along. Wait a minute. If he's so bad, why is Inter Milan knocking on our door for this player? No, we're not.
You know what? If you're not like Eddie and smart like the Goonie, you say, okay, 50 million for Balogun. We'll give you 50 million of Balogun, we'll give you another 50 in Balogun, and you give us Lautaro Martinez. That's the deal making that we need to see.
Do you know what? It's that, but also, right, this is where Arsenal don't learn. If you're going to sell him, right, put in a buyback clause.
Yep.
Do that. Be smart, be sensible. Put some sort of clause in, first option, buyback, or whatever. But no, we don't.
Nope. We watch the player go, and he goes to higher success wherever that player goes. You know, all you got to do is put the money. There's two ways you can do that. One, you want him? Okay, we're gonna do like West Ham. We're gonna jack the price up. You want him? We're gonna make so much money off of this player that we can go get whatever we need, whatever player we want. Or like you said, you drop in a $12 million buyback. Look at Chelsea and some of these teams with buyback clauses. Real Madrid. Man, a player leave Real Madrid and they really want him. He goes somewhere, he perform, and $5 million buyback bid. They flee Sevilla and all them teams up for players.
I think we have a buyback clause in Odegaard actually as well.
Yeah. You know, and that was the issue before they re-upped I think re-upped on that deal that came up. People were scared that they won't come in and get him back. You know, we have got to. When it comes to this kind of business, we've got to start going to the next level. And it's like, OG, you brought up about the $100 million. Other teams know we got money, man. People know this, man. People know this stuff. They know that the money is in the coffers. There's no more hiding now. Now that we spent $105 million on Declan Rice, when people and you know, I told Gunner this. TJ. I said, do you realize that we paid the same damn money that they really asked for from the real? We wait 6 months to pay the same thing that they asked for. Mm-hmm. And people run around, oh man, we put the money in. They asked for that back in January. Well, they wasn't gonna sell them then. You don't know because we didn't put the money down. I mean, we got to start. We've got to really this season, guys. We have really got to sew this thing up. And I'm telling y'all, we've got to find a striker somewhere because that's what, like last year it was the defense. This year it'll be the striker.
Same every year, Matty. It's always been the same with Arsenal. If the attack's not good enough, the defense is great. If the defense ain't good enough, it's always the attack. It's been the same with Arsenal ever since I started supporting them. Anyway, it's always been the same in my opinion. Anyway,
Balogun to Inter could really happen because Lukaku is not wanted there.
No, they need a striker.
Lukaku's kind of a dead man walking right now. He's a club.
That's what Megan Thee Stallion do to you.
Here's the thing: is if we let him go, and I'm not an accountant. I'm sorry, I'm going to say I'm not an accountant. But if we let him go for any less than 50, for any less than 50 million, I'm going to be fuming because I read this morning that Inter Milan is not going to go above 40 with add-ons included. So I want him to stay. Regardless. I want him to stay.
Do you know what makes me laugh though, TJ? Right, you're saying that, yeah. We've all said just now that there's a real dearth of strikers at the moment out there, right?
Yeah.
He's just scored all those goals in France last season. If he'd done that in the Premier League, you're talking 80, 90 million.
Probably.
Do you get what I mean?
Well, no, but it's a farmers league, Diesel. It's a
No. That's what I'm saying. No, you're right. That's what I'm saying. Minimum 50. But really, you could probably, because of there's such a lack of strikers out there, you could probably get a bit more.
Told you.
If it's 50, but I want some sort of clause in there that we can get him back should he hit the heights.
Yeah, and we talked about this yesterday. You always got to. You also look at the ceiling too. He's a kid, guys. He's a kid.
21.
Yeah, and he's come up through our squad, and he chose to play for the United States because he wants to have that spotlight on him. He wants to play internationally. He wants to be that guy. Eddie Nketiah is never going to be that guy.
Nah.
He's perfectly fine with playing for London when he could go and play for, I think, Ghana, right?
Yeah,
And
TJ, bingo. There you go. You know what I was you read my mind.
and he decides that I'm perfectly fine never getting chosen for Southgate ball. I'm totally fine with that, just as long as I'm English. No, I want a guy that wants to play. I want a guy that wants the ball. That's who I want. And I'm getting pissed now because I've had to deal with so many freaking Arsenal fans defending Eddie Nketiah for 4 goals. 4 goals.
But he's better because
TJ
Nketiah is better because he hasn't done it in the French league and he's proved it. That's what I didn't get with that yesterday, and I don't want to go back to it. But yesterday,
I'm not going back to that. I'm not going back to that either. But that's just a small example, Connor. That's the point. Is that half of this fan base don't know basic math.
Yeah.
And Farmers League and Kylian Mbappe, who I have on this freaking screen over here, he plays in a Farmers League. Lionel Messi plays in a Farmers League.
Zlatan played in a Farmers League.
Zatlan, Farmers League.
I mean, Benzema came out of a Farmers League.
Genoa, Farmers League.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, guys. What I don't understand is what does Inter Milan see and Reims, or possibly even PSG, I think, had a sniff around Balogun when he was, up there with Mbappe for a time. And a couple of other top teams have looked at Balogun too. What do those teams see that Arteta and we don't? And what is making Arteta want to sell him? But then you have Inter Milan, the Champions League runners-up, with one of the first bids. That has to signal to you that you have a player that has something special and that's desired by other clubs.
Here's another. If we're going to get into stats
against those clubs, then you're one up on them.
Yeah. One more thing that I want to. That's important. So Flo finished 4th in scoring in League One. He finished 2nd in shots.
That's what you need.
That's all I'm going to say.
You can't win a lottery unless you
play. Nothing else needs to be said.
Is better.
Yeah,
Nketiah is better. Give me a break.
Buy a ticket. Right, and the fact that we're even making the mere, comparison of Mbappe and Balogun should send a signal to Arteta, saying, "Oh, maybe this kid has something that Eddie Nketiah doesn't."
I mean, the writing is on the wall, the writing is on the wall. You can look, and it's very few players that I can look at and go, "Yep, that he's got it, And Balogun is one of the few players that I just look at him in our squad, in the United States squad. Now you just drop him over in the team that was in the Gold Cup, and watch what would have happened. We probably would have ran roughshod over a couple of those teams.
Yep.
I'm telling you, Arsenal are going to rue the day if they sell this player. We're going to be dealing with this dude in Europe from here out if we sell him. Yeah. It's going to be a headache. It's going to be a headache that we brought on ourselves. Arsenal does that, man. They will give themselves their own headache. It's like this Nketiah thing. He needs to be sold. Needs to be moved on. That's done. It's over. Lukonga needs to be moved on. That's certain players. You 2-3 years. It's time to move on. If Balogun was coming out of Spain, the Arsenal fans would be over the moon. They'd have Scout Nation on repeat over and over and over and over. They'd be going ballistic. Our fans are a special breed of fan, man. I tell you, it's a special breed. I don't see this at other clubs.
They see and hear what they want, don't they, Matty?
Yeah, they see what they want, man. They hear what they want to hear, and they see what they want to see. And all Arsenal fans should be going ballistic, saying this man needs to stay. But everybody has this love affair, this sorcery that has been pulled off by Nketiah to make people fall in love with him.
I don't get how some Arsenal fans get this Klingon effect to some of these players. I just don't. I personally don't understand it. Like, Lee has said so many times, like he got told that there was on the final against Wolves in the final of the season, a load of Arsenal fans saying, "Jacques, we want you to stay." Why? Like, do you want to move forward as a club? People want Holding to stay because he's the gel to the team. Yeah, why? I don't understand how some Arsenal fans get this sort of thing on to these players, because do you want us to improve? Because I guarantee you, a lot of Arsenal fans were crying about Xhaka leaving. I guarantee you next month, they won't even remember him once Declan Rice is on that pitch in the Premier League. Like, it pisses me off, because do you want to move forward as a club? Do you want to get better, or are you happy with mediocrity? Oh, no, we don't want to get rid of Nketiah because he's Hale End. He's number 14, Eddie. He's in the room. You know, he turns up against 2 teams every single season. It's no disrespect to the person. He's just not good enough for Arsenal Football Club. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
I just don't get why so many fans are so glued to these players. We've got to keep him. He's our boy. He's ours. Like, throw a pair.
It's sentiment, mate. I think that's what it is, Con. It's
How am I 19?
sentiment.
I've got more logic than these guys that are 30, 40. I don't get it.
If our fan base had their way, they would still be looking for Jack Wilshere to still play in this team.
Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it. Some of them even wanted him to come back when he was looking to actually get into the club again before he went off to Denmark for a season. You know, like some of these people, I swear to God, like people wanted Alexis Sanchez back. He's 35. He's not the Alexis Sanchez.
I mean, look at El Nene. I saw a cat today. Talking about El Nene. Why y'all want to get rid of El Nene? The man, what has he done? I was like, what has he done in 4, 5, 6 years? What has he done? Nothing. He went over there to Turkey and they sent him right on back. Turkey sent him right on back.
Yeah,
it's that Arsenal love. It's the big hug and caring for the Hale End players.
It's time for that stuff to go away. It's time to grow up. It's time to grow up.
Nelson, Eddie Nketiah, Rob Holding, and Cedric Suarez, El Neni. We still don't have them out yet.
but let's just appreciate, guys. We haven't heard anything. There's been no talk. We have not seen a single report about these guys going. Sambi.
No, that is why I think they're going to sell Balogun, because he's the only real asset where they can get big money for. It's wrong. It's wrong, but I reckon they've told him, look, you spent 200 million, right? We need you now, Mikel, to like recoup some of that money. Now he's going to struggle with Cedric. It's like Man United. They're having the same issues with Maguire and all those. Phil Jones has just left them, right? So Phil Jones is like our Rob Holding. Right? That is what it is. But you know what it is? It's sentiment, and this is why I always bash Arsene Wenger on my channel, because I believe a lot of this nonsense started with him. Right? It was that thing of top 4. Wow, you know what I mean? And it seeped into these Arsenal fans. Right? Us 5 on here. All we're talking about is going for the league, winning the league. The majority of these fans, it's going to football now. It's like the theatre. This was always like my issue with Terry, right? He wants to go get his money's worth, go to the pub, have a couple of pints, go to the game, watch. Even if Arsenal lose 3-2, he's seen an attractive game, 5 goals, end-to-end stuff. The game ends, back to the pub, couple of pints, goes home to the missus. Got me money's worth, babes. Got me money's worth. That is what a lot of Arsenal fans. It's not about winning. It's not about trophies. They want. It's going to the theatre. I guarantee soon you'll be seeing Arsenal fans on telly eating popcorn whilst they're watching the game. That is where it's going, and it's sad, but that is it now. It's entertainment over winning. You know, that's where it is.
No,
Us 5, we're a minority now.
So Diesel, with that said, how does that tide change? How does
it doesn't?
It doesn't.
It won't, mate. No, because fans nowadays follow players rather than clubs.
Gotcha.
Right, and this is the thing, you know, and this is the thing. Like kids nowadays, they got an Arsenal kit, a Man City kit, an Aston Villa kit. You know, it was never like that back in the day. But now they follow the Grealish with the, you know, the pretty boy. You know, I mean, that is how it starts. But a lot of these fans, it's the Mikel thing. You know, I've heard so many Arsenal fans already calling for a statue of him, and I'm for winning an FA Cup.
What?
You know, it's these guys are serious. AFTV don't help, in my opinion.
Oh no, they don't.
No, they don't.
Don't help.
They don't.
Well, look, it's a perfect example. We've got a man right here who has just done an interview of them, who has clearly made it clear that he said a certain line, which is very true. It's not about the shirts, it's about results. And they cut it out because they're linked to Arsenal. We've seen them have pictures of Edu, Josh, Stan. They're clearly linked. Literally, they were Cecil and Robbie were having, or Cecil and Lee, judges, were having a chat with him. Like they were mates. So they're clearly linked with the club. So as soon as they hit, I was even surprised that they kept in that TJ said the kit was a 5 out of 10. Oh no, we can't say 5 out of 10. That'll piss off Arsenal. It's got to be a 10 out of 10 kit. It's got to be.
The next guy that they put in, by the way, said
it was a 10 out of 10.
It was a 10 out of 10.
Go ahead, D. Go ahead, D.
Right. You know, Yardman. So everyone says, "Oh, Turkish is the only, nice man." All the rest are wrong uns. Yardman, right? Yeah. When Robbie asked him, do you remember when Robbie asked him, like, what's your aim for the season? Yeah. He said to win the league. And everyone around him started laughing like he was some sort of stand-up comedian. Yeah. Now when you've got young kids watching that, they believe it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. These guys don't help. They're on the gravy train. They ain't there because they love the club, and they're there for money. I'm sorry, guys, but the youngsters, we are missing out on a generation of Arsenal fans. That we are. It's sad.
I did a whole 30-minute deal on the propaganda machine at this club. Harry Simeon sat right there and said, I've been looking for Kai Havertz. Not one time last season did he say he wanted Kai Havertz on this team. Not one time. Not one time. And I sat there and I watched Harry Simeon from here and there. And I didn't hear anybody saying they wanted Kai Havertz at this team last year because we were in for Kai Havertz. Now the propaganda arm, the checks get slid, the envelopes are folded, the checks are put in the back pockets. Oh, yes, this is the greatest signing that Arsenal has had. They were bird campus, all this stupidity, foolishness. We know that the checks are being cut at this club. They're going to these propaganda arms of the football club. I saw somebody on Twitter said when we were asking for Rice and Salcedo. Anybody that asked for Rice and Salcedo is a 13-year-old kid that don't know football. That's what they were saying. That's what the person said. I should have screenshot and put it in the group. I didn't think about it at the time. But this is the kind of people that are at this football club. People that don't have good football sense. They don't have good football sense. It's just feel good. I told Gunnar this the other day. I said, Lee, we have a section of this fan base that just wants to feel good. They just want to get up. They don't care about winning. If the kit looks good, you got people already talking about mid-season training merchandise. What that's going to look like.
Cool.
I mean, who cares? Who cares about this stuff? This is like Diesel said. This is the new pop culture Arsenal is what we become. It's just whatever is hip, so I can get on Twitter and feel good. I want everybody to feel good about my new kit, my new watch, my new polo I bought from down at the range. I want to, just my new headphones, water bottle, everything. They just want to feel good about it. Then you've got propaganda machines like AFTV. They get out there, we play ass backwards. They say it was great. I did a whole 30-minute deal on Yardman. How at the end of the season, Robbie was sitting right there and was saying that this season was not a failure when it was a complete show. When you're 248 days and you ain't got nothing to show for it, then what is it? Oh, we qualified for Europe. Well, where's the trophy? Oh, well, there's no trophy. Then it's a failure. Because everybody from 1, 2, and 3 did the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. They all qualify for Europe too. So we've got to the people like this, that these propaganda arms of the club. This is why this season, I've said it and I'll say it again. We have to hold their feet to the fire. This season is going to be a year of I told you so. I told Gunnar that it's going to be a year. I told you so. Because they're going to come back and people are going to start saying, I'm sorry. If we don't win this year, after all this, because we're going to have, you already know, the banner club is going to be out. We're going to get lit up by just about everybody. We don't do something this year, we're going to get lit up. And this is going to be the year that people are going to finally have to start looking sideways and figure out where do you align. What side of the aisle are you on? Are you on the side that just want to feel good? You go to the parties, fish fries and all that stuff. Or do you want to come over here where you want to try to establish yourself or reestablish yourself with European pedigree? This is the playtime is over. Playtime is over at the football club for I'm concerned. I'm not playing around this year. I'm not looking to feel good. I want to win.
What makes me mad too, Maddie, is when I see training social media pictures of them smiling and doing piggyback
rides and shit.
Absolutely burn me. I can't stand seeing that.
Win.
And because they're just out there dicking around, posing for the cameras, and I'm just so sick of that shit. And I want that to be done. Like why even let that out on the training ground? Why even let them do it? It makes no sense at all.
Can I just add in? Because I knew that. Sorry, Dal. When I knew we were going to announce Declan Rice, I knew that channel was going to do some form of thing like they did for Thomas Partey, right? That stupid song, that song and dance they done. Now, you look at the likes of, I know Man United have a channel, but they don't do none of that crap. When they signed Mason Mount, there was none of that song crap. Now, you look at the likes of Man City, Liverpool fans, by the way, Real Madrid fans, Barcelona, even PSG, they don't do none of this crap. I'm not going to lie. I know it was a laugh, and I know probably Cecil's having a laugh with it, and I get that. And fair play to him. He doesn't take any of the criticism, like all this stuff that gets thrown at him. But I watched that video of him doing that song and dancing with them, and the sound of it. I feel embarrassed. Like not even a joke. I genuinely feel embarrassed to be an Arsenal fan when I see that shit. Because all I get from my mates is you're a joke, and we are. That makes us look like a joke. Just singing and dancing about Declan Rice. If I was Declan Rice and I saw that, I'd think, what the fuck? But seriously, I think, what is that? Like, I get I've joined, but what is that? It is honestly, maybe it's for
not even West Ham did that.
Yeah.
West Ham, yeah.
The point I'm trying to get is, when I see that, and again, Firmino, the same shit. He got the thing printed, so he got, and I'm not going just.
I remember that. I should have brought that up.
He got the Premier League table printed out on a shirt when we were first at that point. It genuinely makes me feel embarrassed, and I don't understand, because I think Robbie is a fantastic person. You know, the fact that he came up with the idea and he's made a business out of it. But can you not see that some of it, especially that announcement, it's so embarrassing for some of us Arsenal fans have to deal with this crap online because they see they're the biggest platform. They are bar Arsenal's main social media account on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. These guys are the biggest platform for Arsenal media. Yeah. You will see this everywhere. And I don't know if they've got to grips with that and how crap like that can make a club so embarrassing, and how some of the interviews and the people that they get on for interviews, because we know that some of the people they get on, I'm not going to name names, but some of the people that they get on for these interviews after games are deliberately on the channel to get people talking. What the hell was he talking about? Deluded, all this. It's not because they're, I don't want to say true fans, but it's not because they really want to voice their true opinion. It's because they're doing it for some of the clicks, you know? And that video made me so embarrassed. I didn't even want Declan Rice at that point. I thought, Jesus, do I even want this guy? They're now going to start singing this song everywhere, the Vanilla Ice song. Don't get me wrong, I was singing it once, so I was very happy. But that whole thing just made me so embarrassed.
Yeah, BX Gunner, there's a difference between what we're doing here and me dancing under a bridge to Ice Ice Baby. There's a difference.
BX Gunner's got a good point. Exactly.
You got a good point. But there's a difference. There's a threshold here.
But it's aggravating, bro. You're playing Gunner since 81. It's aggravating to see that. I want to see them out there playing the pitch, doing what they're supposed to do.
I want to take it seriously.
I'll come out here and sing "We Are the Champions" when we win the league. I'll come out here. I'll dress like Freddie Mercury. I'll shave it down.
We win the league. We win the league. I'll sing. We got Super Mega Arteta. We won the damn league. I would have sung last year. We won the league. It's about winning. It's about winning. If you're playing a sport on any level, it's about winning. Most folks know I'm a Lakers fan. I don't hear nothing about what we did. I was winning. It's championships. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. It's winning. We got to get out of the habit of feeling good. We just want to feel good because we were down so low. And this is why you see all this tap dancing and buck dancing and folks acting the fool. It's because we were so far in the bottom of the pits that any little bit of anything decent, everybody go. They take the minimum and maximize it. It's about winning. This season is about winning. Anything less is unacceptable. And that's you have to. People are going to have to start setting the tone and start hammering that. What about that? Well, it doesn't matter if we're not winning. It doesn't matter.
So, Matty, do you think Arteta has a problem with team selection?
I think Arteta. This is what I want to say about Arteta. I think Arteta is in over his head. This is me personally. This is when you go to work and you interview that cat and that one guy, you interview him and he says that, well, can you do this job? Yeah, I can do whatever you need me to do. Yeah, I can get it. I'll be here. I'll work overtime. I've done. I can do this. And you ask him a question. Well, when was the last time that you had to do a situation? Oh yeah, he oversells himself, and then he finally gets put in the situation and he flops. This is it. This is the guy. We've seen this. We've seen every time we have a major run in. Let's just be real. Every time we have a major run in, when the pressure is on, because the pressure is not on the first 2 or 3 months of the season. The pressure is on when you're coming down March, the odds of March, April, May, and you're in the title run, or you're trying to get in Europe. That's when the pressure's on. We've seen him fold time and time again.
Matty, don't forget, and this is one thing. One quick point this up quickly because it's been an hour and 40 now. Last thing on my end. One thing I want to see this season, because it is constant and it's been here since Arteta started. And when I look at it and I think when this has happened, it happened many times last season. Exactly what Matty said. There's been moments where you know in a game when Arteta's confident and when he's not. Because there's games where Arteta will be off his line and he will be giving out things here and there, which I love. I love seeing a manager being vocal. Maybe sometimes he's a bit too vocal, doesn't let the players just do their thing. But I do like it when he's on them and, when they come in for the huddle, when he gives new tactics, you there. When he's sitting like that and he's like,
I don't know what to do.
But the point I'm making is the one thing I want to see Arteta doing this season, substitutions. Oh my God, he's got to work on that. Because I'm not having none of this 80th minute, we're now going to bring on a sub. You've got to make sure you're doing your subs correctly. Because he's not... So many moments last season, we were crying for substitutions to come on. It was a point where I felt, do you have your 11 and you think your others are shit? Because it seems like you just don't want to bring them on. And that's one thing I want to see Arteta make, because that can be a game changer. Substitutions can be game changers. We all know that. And that's one thing I really want to see Arteta improve on this season, because just like Matty said, it has to be the priority. In my tactics-wise, you can't be just sitting there and letting your players run out dry for 80 minutes and thinking, right, we're 3-1 down. I've now bring on a substitution. He has to work on that 1,000%, because that's the thing he's been doing since he first came to Arsenal, in my opinion, anyway.
TJ, let me ask you. Can I ask you a question, TJ?
Of course, man. And then we got to start. Then we got to start closing it out. We've been going for a long time. This has been a classic. Love it. Go for it, man.
And this is also for anybody on the panel. Do you see Bukayo Saka lasting a whole season this year?
Injury free. Go ahead, TJ.
Everybody. So everybody answer this question. This will be the question we take it out on. No, I don't. I see him playing in. I mean, we're gonna play him in every game we can, but I think there's gonna I think there's gonna come a point where he's gonna get hit.
Yeah,
I think it's inevitable.
We played with fire last year. We played with a lot of fire with him last year.
I mean, and everybody can say, I'll finish this point, and then I want to hear from Diesel, and let's hear from everybody on this, and this will be the final thing. I think it's going to get to a point where you can only play with fire for so long before you get burned, and that's what scares me about Reece Nelson behind him. Is that we don't have the quality behind him when that inevitably happens. Because look, football is a contact sport, gentlemen, and Saka might be Superman. You never know. But at the same time, even Superman has kryptonite. Not to be lame and with that metaphor, but everybody gets their comeuppance at some point. And if we play him the way we played in the competition we have to play against this season, and we play him like we did last season, I think I said enough. Diesel, what do you think?
Do I think it will last? I don't. I'll tell you why. Because I think if we all remember, towards the back end of last season, a lot of the opposition players were going at him a lot more than what they ever have. And and if you notice, I think that may have played a part in why he lost a lot of form. He's now got 2 players on him most games. And I think if he elevates even more, which he will, I think this is the season where they're just going to go after him, because there was a couple of games where he did start to bite back. And I think, the next season is always the harder one, because obviously opposition, they know more about you, how you play, your temperament. And everyone knows he's our main guy, and favourite film, one of my favourite films, Remember the Titans with Denzel, line in it from that coach, you want to act like a star, you better give me a star effort. So listen, we're calling this boy Star Boy, cool. But when it really mattered last season, he went missing. He wasn't the only one. So again, this world-class thing, world-class players show up when it really matters, when we need you. Yeah. So this season, I want to see him, because there's no excuses. He's got to go for it. The problem is he's got no competition behind him, and that's what worries me. Someone said it in the chat about maybe Jesus playing him as a on the obviously if we keep Balogun, we could but again we'd need another but I think they're going to go at him this season coming up, and he's got to control his temperament.
I agree 100%. Big up Irie Ramsey. Make sure that you are subbing if you are new, everybody. We're at 38 likes. Get us to 40 in the last 5-10 minutes here. Dal, what do you think?
I agree with what Diesel said. You said too, TJ, is that if we signed up Reece Nelson again for a reason. Let's use him. He's not who I wanted, but he's who Arteta wanted, and so now he's got to put his spoon into the cereal and eat it up. So if Saka, like somebody, I think I agree with someone in the chat that said about 32 games or so. 32 games is about a really good number for him. But at the same time, if he's hitting form and he's staying injury free, I don't want to see him in Carabao Cup games though either, guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really don't. I just want to see him focused on the Premier League and Champions League group stage qualifiers. I just I don't know. That's going to be a real tricky thing for Arteta to get around. But I have zero confidence in Reece Nelson, unfortunately. Even though he did score us a banger at Brighton, but that's big deal. That's history. Yeah. Not last season, and any of those top gurus are talking about last season and comparing that to this season come up. Shut up. It's done. We won nothing. We got new players. We got some players that went out. Let's just put the covers over the bed and let's start with a new slate. Okay. And unfortunately for Saka, if he gets overrun, we're going to pay for it at the latter end of the season.
Maddie, you're on mute, buddy.
Well, like I said, we played with fire with him last year. I'm fully in with Diesel on the competition. There needs to be competition this season. Every player's position should be up for grabs. I don't care how long you've been here. It's about competing. In a club that wants to go to the next level, there's competition in the squad. I don't care about a player's feelings. If you want a position, to earn it, work for it. So I want to see what Connor said earlier. If this season Saka stinks it up or starts to get out of order, I want to see him pull. Will he last the whole season? Nah, I'm going to go probably anywhere from 28 to 32 games. He was hanging on for dear life last year. There was one game he was begging Arteta to take him out. Please take me out. Nope, you stay out. And he was out there. He was like a car on the interstate on a donut. That's what he looked like. And so we're going to find out this year if he wants to ascend to world-class heights. Because like Brother Diesel said, until you get when you're up against the best of the best, and I'm not talking about international play. I'm talking about when you look across that pitch and you see Mbappe looking dead at you, or you see a player from Bayern Munich, or you see Vinicius looking dead at you, and you can do that, skinning people that way, then and produce something, because you can do all this just showboating and all that, and you don't have anything to produce for, then you're just another player that's good. You're just another Johan Gorkuf, if y'all remember him. He was real good. He was real good. Adel Tarat. The streets will remember. But if you cannot go out and produce and bring home something, a trophy, then he's just another good player that's been in the long line of many that's played for Arsenal.
And to add to that, Matt, that we could sell.
Yeah,
we could sell. It's not out of the realm that if somebody comes in for 120 mil for Saka, let's say he has a great season this season, and next season somebody comes in for him with 120 mil, then he'll stay. There's no guarantee in that.
Connor, last take on this one, and then I'm going to ask everybody to shout out. Let's get out of here. Big up everybody inside, by the way. 34. This is an incredible crowd for us, everybody. Make sure you're smashing the likes up and subbing if you're new. Go, Connor.
I'm definitely going to be worried about Saka this season, because we all know what Arteta loves to do. He loves to play him in every single game, whether he's got one leg, maybe no legs, he'll still play him. There's also another thing to add to all this. He practically plays every single game for England, even if it's a friendly or the qualifiers. He will be playing in that England team. And we all know what can happen on international duty. Injuries can come from left, right, and centre. Another reason, thinking about it, why Arteta probably wants a new right-sided forward, probably because he's probably worried he'll play Saka too much. And to be fair, if it is the reason why he wants a right-sided forward to rotate with Saka, fair play to him. And this Kudus fella could be all right. I have never watched him play, but Ajax do produce some good talent, so he could be all right. I want to see Saka rotated at least a good couple of times this season, because I'm sorry, as much as I love Saka, he is my favourite player at Arsenal personally. And as I know we talked about earlier about keeping close ties with players and fans. I know I'm not like that where if he wanted to go, I'd let him go. If he was crap, I'd say go. Even if he was good and he wanted to go, I'd say go. But he is one of my favourite players at the club. But he needs to be rotated at some points. He is definitely one of our best players, hands down. But there are points where there are games where he doesn't need to play. He really doesn't. There's cup competitions where, in no disrespect, lower league, so like League 1 teams, League 2 teams, Saka would play. So yeah, definitely. I'm worried for him because obviously we've had a knock at the end of the season, even though he was played through that for some reason, even though when he had a bad knock. But let's hope that if we do bring the right-sided forward, Arteta's done it for a reason. That is to rotate Bukayo Saka, because I know Champions League's a bit more of a bigger ball game, a lot more intense games in that competition. In no disrespect to the Europa League or the Conference League, but let's compare it. Europa League games and Champions League games are a bit of like bread and butter. They're completely different. It's so yeah. I completely agree with the fact that I'm worried. I'm worried, and I hope he can keep his fitness well. We all know, like Diesel said, players are going to be on him. It was one player on him at a time, and we can see every game 2 players are on this guy. Yeah. When he's on the wing and he's trying to cut inside, 2 players are on him, and normally he gets past him. But it could go to 3. We don't know. Also, quick update: Mbappe has just been put up for sale by PSG. Let's buy him. Literally, they just announced that he's on the market. They don't want him. So, hey, Arsenal, sign him up. You want a striker? Bring him in. Get rid of Balogun for Mbappe. I don't say no. So,
you won't get a complaint from me.
There we go.
No, you won't hear any complaints from me.
You're good at signing players instead of selling them, so bring in Mbappe. There we go.
And with that knowledge, Diesel, start taking us out. Shout out your channels, man.
Yeah, Diesel Arsenal for anyone who doesn't know, and I always feel bad shouting myself when I'm on someone else's channel. I don't know what it is. I just
that's what it's here for.
I know. I can't help it.
We got the people that don't know about Diesel Arsenal need to know now.
Right.
Shout it out, brother.
Yeah, just Diesel Arsenal. Obviously, talk about the Arsenal. I talk about everything really. Things I'm watching, movies, TV series, all that sort of stuff. Just life in general. Just obviously we've all been about. We've been around the block. And I'll tell you something. I'll tell you another reason why I do it. I get so many messages on Insta from people saying, that that thing you said last night about, just careful who you hang around with, and just obviously, the people you hang around with can either bring you up or drag you down, and stuff like that. Just life stuff that we've all experienced over the years. And you get some people who message me saying, "Do you know what? I really took note of what you said, and I've started to look more closely at the company I'm keeping, and I've realised there was an actual wrong in the group, and I've got rid of it." Just little stuff, because what we do, I think we downplay it a lot, but it does help. I know we talk about Arsenal a lot and stuff, but life is a bit doom and gloom at the moment, especially over here in this country. With it's literally heat or eat at the moment. Cost prices going up, cost of living, and I think sometimes guys use this as that escapism. They watch this, we talk about the Arsenal, but we have a bit of banter as well. Then it's just that nice little escapism, and I think we not say influencers. I'm not a lover of that word, but it's nice to know that you're giving people what they want, and there's a bit of enjoyment, and they take something out of it. It's not just about Arsenal, but it could be anything about life in general, an experience or whatever that I've been through. And obviously you speak to someone, or someone in the group sends you a message on Insta to say, "Do you know what? You really helped me last night. Thank you." It means so much, man. Honestly, it's humbling. So yeah, I just talk about anything and everything, and as you've probably gathered by this stream, I don't shut up, so I'm going to shut up right now. Right.
I think it's been pretty balanced, Diesel, and I just got to say, man, I've been a fan. I think everybody on the panel is a fan.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Man. So, anytime you want to come back and chop it up with us, please do. We'd love to have you back anytime.
Yeah, definitely.
Anytime.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, Dow.
What's up, everybody? Thank you, Diesel. Thank you, Matt, Connor, everyone on the show today. 20th episode, 20 weeks, TJ. 20 weeks. I know, it's been flying by, hasn't it? But yeah, thank you to all the guests today. The show was special, especially showing up, Diesel. I watched your show quite a bit. You do talk about a lot of things, and a lot of things have made me kind of reflect on things and, past experiences and so forth. So I appreciate that. A lot of your shows got me through a lot of COVID depression as well over the last couple of years. So thank you a lot for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks to everyone in the panel, of course, and everyone in the chat. Danny, Early Doors, Getty, Local Badger, Jez, Jamino, my man Carlo Rossi. The sexiest Irishman I know. Well, besides Connor. So anyway, just wanted to say thanks, everybody. Thanks again, Matt, Diesel, for showing up today. Made the episode extra special. And everyone's over the last 20 weeks, and we keep going.
Absolutely. Matt, shout yourself out, my brother. Thank you so much for coming on.
Always a pleasure to join you guys, man. I was thrilled when you reached out to me and asked me would I join. When I saw Diesel, I was like, yes.
Come on, Matt. Come on, my God.
And with the plan, yeah. So it was almost like TJ Soda. Hey, man, we're gonna have Diesel on. You want to come join? I'm like, yeah, I'm coming, man. Yeah, I'll be there.
You
can find me on YouTube, Southern Gunner. You can also, I'm a regular over with Tony Claude Gunner. We actually got to get ready to get lined up to do our transfer show. As we get ready to get into the meat of it now. So we're going to be doing that. And also this season, I'll be on Lee Gunner's channel doing watch-alongs when I can this year. So we had a blast doing that. So we decided we'd hook up again this season. So getting ready, man. I texted him last week and said, hey, we are closing in. The season is rapidly approaching. So, and I cannot wait. I have missed watching Arsenal. This Women's World Cup will get me to the season, and we'll be ready to roll.
Yep. And I actually got a question on this from Chike. Chike, if you're still watching, we're gonna have watch-alongs for this, and yes, we are going to three-peat. It's not
you think we three-peat?
We're three-peating.
That's hard, man. That is.
We're winning this. We're winning this. Sorry, I don't even know where that confidence comes from. I just know we're gonna win it.
It's Rapinoe's last. It's Megan Rapinoe's last timeout, isn't it?
Rapinoe. It may be Alex Morgan's too. You never know.
Hey man, don't discount England, man. England are rolling. Those English women are rolling, man.
Yeah. Got some good players.
We'll see. Connor, shout yourself out, my brother.
Yeah, great. This is probably the longest American Idiots we've ever done.
It is. It's definitely the longest one, but it's probably been.
Sorry.
Not your fault. Everybody was talking.
Oh yeah, literally. No, I'm joking. Listen, it's gone past like rapidly. So yeah, honestly, Diesel, thanks very much for coming on, and of course,
thanks for the invite.
Matty, obviously legends to chat to, and of course, TJ and the man himself. Obviously, love coming on American Idiots, and I think everyone loves coming and tuning in every Friday. So it's very clear. We had like 20, 25 people in there, standard whole stream. Big up to all of you for sticking around, man. So yeah, you can find me on Instagram, cmo.editing. You know what I do, all the graphics work, and I think I've done literally work for everyone here. I think maybe bar Matty, and then people in the chat as well.
I'm coming your way, Connor. I'm coming your way soon, Connor. Don't worry.
Sweet, can't wait. And so you can find me on Instagram, cmo.editing. I know Diesel loves the intro that I made for him. You
know what, right? I saw the thumbnail for this. You've made me look proper flawless. I could not find one spot on my face. I was like, Con, you're the man, bro.
You got a Tinder profile, bro.
Like cocoa butter, isn't it?
Try my best. But yeah, big up to all of you guys. Honestly, I love coming on there. And yeah, you can find me on Instagram. Hit me up in the DMs if you need any graphics work, as per usual. It's late here in the UK, so I'm knackered. I've had a long day at work. So, but honestly, fantastic show. I've loved it. And, big up to everyone, man. Big up to TJ as well.
Thanks,
big up. Thank you so much, Connor. Thanks, everybody. Seriously, appreciate it. This has been easily one of the most fun shows I've had on here. It's been great. It's been enlightening. And obviously this is why I got into it. It's for conversations like this, for company like this, for experiences that I got this week. It's been absolutely incredible. And this was just the cherry on top. So I really, really appreciate it, guys. So coming up, this week. I'm going to be on with Jez at some point doing the Arsenal Journey episode. So make sure you're tuning in to the Arsenal History and More and watching those episodes and getting a little bit of, a look into your favorite content creators, if that's what we're called. Your favorite content creators and how we got into Arsenal and what's our Arsenal story. There's already a few out there that have been absolutely incredible. The Kenny Ken one was awesome too. So make sure you're going to watch that Arsenal History and More. I will be doing a watch along for the Women's World Cup game against the Netherlands on Wednesday. That's Wednesday morning for a lot of those in the UK, but I am going to be doing a watch along for that, supporting our women. I can't do that tonight against Vietnam because I have a show. So that's it. That's that on that. I'll also be doing sorry, I got a lot to shout out this week, guys, so bear with me real quick. We'll be doing the midweek show, Connor, if you're down Wednesday during the day too.
Yeah, sweet. Sounds good.
Yep. And then I don't know what that's going to be about yet. We'll see. We'll see what happens. And then on Tottenham Away, I am hosting with Mari, the legend over there on Tottenham Away. We have a new show called We Own North London. It is a banter show between Arsenal and Spurs fans. It was absolute scenes yesterday. It was so much fun. Get a lot of wrongins on there that need some correcting. And I think we do a pretty good job at that. So tune in over there. Make sure you're subscribed. And obviously next week, American Idiot, same time, same place. And with that, thank you so much. If you're watching on playback, make sure you're smashing a like, leaving comments. If you liked it, make sure you smash the like. If you didn't like it, don't be a dick. Like it anyway. We'll see you later.